a lot, which motivates us to make more and more video. Today we are starting with a new chapter. It's called Positions and Movement. The first lesson is dealing with naming and plotting the points. In order to name and plot the points, we will look at the basic key. The basic key that one should be following is to know the x-axis and y-axis. So this one, which is down, is called x-axis. And the line which is going this way is called as y-axis. So you will find out whether this is vertical or this is horizontal or the vice versa. Some research for you as well. To begin with, Hannah plotted and joined 3 points. Okay, it says 3 points to form triangle ABC on a coordinate grid. What are the coordinates of the 3 points I plotted? So Hannah is asking us. If Hannah plots point D at 4.5, 6, what shape will quadrilateral ABCD be? So first, let's begin with her 3 coordinates. To understand, if you see A, okay, how I'm going to figure this out is, if you see, this is 1 on x-axis. We always start reading from x-axis, the main key. That's why if you see point A, okay, the coordinates are 1, and you see the y-axis, where is it joining? 2, right? Now, if you see B, again, I will continue. It is 1. Okay, we are learning to read it. And you see where it's ending on y-axis, that is 5. My C, the coordinates are on x-axis. If you see, it's between 4 and 5, right? So I'm going to write 4.5, okay, comma, you see my y-axis, it is on 2, 2. This is how we read the graph, or the coordinates are given the points. I repeat again, if you see my A, okay, x-axis is what I will start with. And therefore, if you see my x-axis is at 1, okay, it's always starting at x-axis, and y, it's finishing at 2, hence 1, 2. My B, again, it's starting at 1, but it ends at 5. So 1, 5. And my C coordinate is between 4 and 5, which is 4.5, 2. Okay. So this is how all my coordinates is what I'm going to learn to plot them and to write the coordinates. Now they are saying, what if Hannah plots D? Let's plot D then. In order to plot D, what we are going to do is, we will see first x-axis 4.5. So I just began at C, I remember, between 4.5. So they're saying 4.5 of x-axis, okay, and 6 of y-axis. So this is my 4.5 ending here at 6 of y-axis, right? This is my point. Therefore, what I will do is, I will join my points. Okay. Let's see now what happens further. By far, we have learned how to do the coordinates. So since I have my coordinate here, okay, I will have x and y for sure. The coordinates of point A are 1 and 2, as I explained before. The same thing is happening here. So we'll go again step by step to understand it more clearly. So you see my x-axis 1 and y-axis 2. That is how they have made this imaginary line and put their point or their dot. So that was to give you an idea or an understanding how things happen. Here the explanations are there. We plotted A before, right? Now we are going to B. Coordinates for B are 1, 5. Remember, we tried to analyze at the beginning The same explanation is given here. I start with my x-axis 1 and go to my y-axis 5. That is how my second dot or my coordinate has been recognized, and therefore point B has been jotted. Let's go to the C1. 4.5 and 2. Like I explained you, between 4 and 5 is my 4.5. And my 2 coordinate was right at A, aligning. So we did that. Finally, they told Hannah wants to put coordinate on D, right? So the D point is something we were trying to recognize. Like I told, 4.5 we already knew, and then I had extended the line for you and I put a point, which we finally joined it. So ABCD is nothing but a trapezium that it got formed. Therefore, are there other possible coordinates for point D so that ABCD remains a trapezium? This is a question for you. Do try it. As and when you can check your answers and explanation as I keep doing. PQRS is a quadrilateral. Write the coordinates of the 4 points. So first, they are asking for P. Let me start with the P. Okay. In P, what will I do is, I will see first my x-axis. For my x-axis, if you see, it's between 0 and 1, right? So being between 0 and 1, this is half. Let me try to draw imaginary line. And then the point Y is at 3. Therefore, my coordinates will be half 3, right? Now, let's see for Q. They are asking for the coordinates for Q. So for my Q again, if you see, it's between 1 and 2. So definitely I have a half here, right? But it's after 1, okay? Friends, watch this. It's after 1. Therefore, 1.5. The key is we always start from x-axis, okay? You must be wondering, why am I starting with this line? It's always beginning with x-axis, okay? The explanation is that. Let's go to y-axis. It is not meeting 5, it is not meeting 6, but it is between 5 and 6. Therefore, my answer will be 5.5. Okay, this was for Q. Let's go for the next one. That is my R. For R, if you see, my coordinate, this x-axis is exactly beginning at 5. So I will write down my x-axis. And then we will see our y-axis. Where is it meeting? On 4, right? That's the reason my y-axis will be 4. Okay, let's go ahead now. If you see my S, okay, my S coordinate, let's start with x-axis. On my x-axis, it is just right there on 3. Okay, that is a dot 3. But let's see on y-axis, it's between 0 and 1, right? It's not on 0 nor on 1. So it's between 0 and 1. Therefore, this will be half. All right. So this is how we find our coordinates on the graph that is given. I'm just clearing it so that you can go through as well again when you want to reiterate your sum. Now, B question. Sam wants the quadrilateral PQRS to be a rectangle. Where should he plot point S, right? Now they are saying he wants a rectangle. What do you think S should be done, or what can be done? What can be done with that? So simple. What we will do? I need a quadrilateral. Okay, sorry, to be a rectangle, not quadrilateral. Sam wants the quadrilateral to be rectangle. So we'll just replace the S. That is, I will take my this 3, okay, just one point here. That is on my 4. So 4, when I place it here, would it be rectangle? No, right? To make it a rectangle, I need it somewhere here. Therefore, what we will do is, okay, you can keep doing all these permutation combination to understand it. So now when I did on 4, it was a little bit awkward, right? So, oh, sorry, on 4 and my y-axis on 1 was not doing well. So I'll take it on 1.5. Now let's match the lines and see what happens. Is it making a proper rectangle now? Perfect. So my coordinates will be 4, let me darken it, 1.5. Right, this is how we find or we plot our coordinates and even read our coordinates. Let's do the last one. Plot C and D to draw a quadrilateral. Okay, now here we have been given a points or a coordinates for A and B. They want us to draw a quadrilateral. Okay, so what type of quadrilateral did you draw if you plot C and D? So let's plot our C and D here basically. So what am I going to do is, in order to plot my C and D to get my quadrilateral, I can take, first and foremost, I want it to go somewhere like this, right? So I'm going to take my C as well somewhere like this in the diagonal, right? So let me start with C first. We'll go one at a time. Let me not confuse you. Okay, I'll take my C point first. So for my C point, what I'm going to do is I will take this coordinate that is my between 4 and 5. I think that sounds better. And on my x-axis, that will be 4. Okay. Next, if you see for my D coordinate, okay, this is my C. For my D point, what I can do, I can take similarly 1 point down, right? Here half point I took down, here as well I'll take half point down, which will be 4, 2.5, right? It's 2.5. If you see the imaginary line, 4, 2.5. Now let's join the dots. Perfect. Now it looks good. So what type of a quadrilateral have we drawn? This is nothing but our parallelogram. Very good. If you have already figured it out and you have thought before me, excellent. Give yourself a star. You deserve it. Okay. Is it a regular polygon? Can we call it a regular polygon? If you know the definition of a regular polygon and irregular polygon, by that, if you see, this is not a regular polygon. Absolutely not. All right. So this is how you plot your coordinates and your points that you are supposed to give. Kindly remember the halves and fulls, and that is how you will be able to ace it. Till then, take care, do well, and stay tuned in. We'll be back with some more videos. Bye.